Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Basketball bets for January 16th, Tuesday. NBA and a couple of college games. There's a really light NBA schedule as it was a really heavy one yesterday for MLK Day. Then we get on to the 16th. We'll get to the couple college games we like first here. Then head to the 3 games in the NBA. So first game up for us on the college slate, Baylor going to Manhattan, Kansas. Kansas State. Baylor ranked in the top 10. Kansas State still about a 1.5 point favorite depending on the book. Total around 141 and a half. Baylor has been pretty inconsistent so far going against good competition, especially on the road or at a neutral site this season. And this falls into the old lovely handicapping of, as well as when an unranked team is favored against a ranked team, you're going to win more than a majority of the time taking that unranked team and they cover. So K-State, like I said, we will be on K-State for this particular matchup because of that reason. K-State minus, I believe, 1. Give me 1 second here. I do apologize. For some reason, I am having the brain cramp abilities here. But yeah, K-State, like Baylor's just been inconsistent against the better teams that they've went against so far this season. So that's the biggest reason for it. And it just happens to fall into one of the gambling sides that we love, which is unranked home teams that are favored against ranked teams. So like I said, those tend to pay off at an alarming rate, and we expect the same here today. So, or I should say tonight. So we will take K-State minus a half in the first half, and then K-State minus 1 for the game. So one more time, K-State minus a half first half, and minus 1 for the game. Next game up that we're going to be on is actually the late game of the day for the ranked teams. Utah State going into New Mexico to the Pit, one of my favorite arena names, the Pit. New Mexico just came, last time at the Pit, they had a big win against San Diego State, who is ranked a little bit higher than even Utah State is, coming in at the 16th team in the country. New Mexico State favored by 5.5, 6. This is another one of those. The Pit, first of all, whether New Mexico is good or bad, is a really tough place to play. They've had a really good season. I still have a hard time believing they're not ranked yet. But hell, Utah State's won 15 games in a row, and they just, barely got ranked as it is. So we do like New Mexico in this particular spot as well. So New Mexico minus 3.5 first half and minus 6 for the game. One more time, New Mexico against Utah State. New Mexico minus 3.5 first half and minus 6 for the game. Then we'll get into the NBA slate, a whole whopping 3 whole games. Nuggets at the 76ers. 76ers, one of the best home teams. Nuggets, not such a good road team. The 76ers favored by 1.5, 233 total. The reason why it's not more, 76ers come off a back-to-back when Denver was off yesterday. 76ers got Joel Embiid back yesterday. He has a 41-point game. It's pretty amazing, though. It's like if Embiid figures out how to move the ball a little bit better throughout the offense, I think that 76ers team comes even more deadly. But when he missed those games, obviously I think they went 2-6, 2-7, did not have a good run. But Embiid comes back yesterday, and first quarter he's got pretty much all the shots. And Maxey, who was developing into the young superstar that he is, all of a sudden he gets put in his tracks and just becomes basically a 3-point shooter and occasionally drive it to the hole if Embiid's not out there. Not kind of what I think Philly's looking for long term, but it will be enough for tonight, especially since half the damn Nuggets lineup is game time decision, as it sounds like they might be trying to sit some of these guys, including Jokic, Murray, Porter, all were on the injury list. So we do like the 76ers tonight. 76ers minus a half first quarter, minus a half first half, minus 1.5 for the game. We're going to go to Maxey here, as I think Jokic doesn't necessarily wash some of Embiid out. It's just Embiid's prop numbers are getting up there to where almost you have to play unders. So we'll take Maxey over 25.5 points and over 2.5 threes. Jokic under 45.5 par. Embiid over 1.5 blocks. Nuggets under 115.5 team total. The Nuggets lead to a lot of unders to begin with, and it's not because of their defense. It's because their offense tends to a lot of people, they're still thinking this is the Nuggets of last year where they scored 125 a game. So the book, it's not that the Nuggets are a bad team, don't get me wrong. It's just the Nuggets haven't been scoring quite as much as they were last year. And expect them to go under 115 here and the 76ers to get a win. So the 76ers minus a half, first quarter minus a half, first half minus 1.5 for the game. Maxey over 2.5 threes and over 25.5 points. Jokic for the Nuggets under 45.5 par. Embiid over 1.5 blocks. And the Nuggets under 115.5 team total. Next game up is going to be a game out here in Phoenix. Suns favored by 4.5, 244 total against the Kings. Kings, fifth city and fifth game in 8 nights. This has been a long road trip. De'Aaron Fox, until the last game with Milwaukee, where the game went overtime, has been under his point prop the entire road trip, plus a couple games at home prior to that. The Suns have played, they beat Portland the last time out. That's not really saying much, but they did cover on the road as well. Kind of shocking there. We do like the Suns just because of the travel and road situation for the Kings. So on this one here, although it's hard to find player props scoring-wise, for the Suns, just because you don't know exactly what's going to happen, as we haven't seen a lot of evidence with this big three. So Suns minus 1 first quarter, minus 2.5 first half, minus 4.5 for the game. De'Aaron Fox under 27.5 points and under 36.5 par. Sabonis for the Kings, though, over 12.5 rebounds, as the Suns are one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. And Booker over 2.5 turnovers in that one. So like I said, we don't have a player prop for points. For the Suns, it's real choppy on who's going to get the ball in what situation and who's going to do what. So, but we do like the Suns, like I said, just because this is a fade situation against the Kings. So Suns minus 1 first quarter, minus 2.5 first half, minus 4.5 for the game. De'Aaron Fox under 27.5 points, under 36.5 par. Sabonis over 12.5 rebounds, and Booker over 2.5 turnovers. Last game of the night, Thunder at the Clippers. Thunder coming off a back-to-back, although they had no travel because they just played the Lakers in L.A. It's played the same place against the Clippers. Clippers 6.5 point favorite. Kind of a big one here. Kind of shot. I mean, I can understand it. Why the line is where it is. With the no rest, stuff like that. So I think that is definitely worth a few points. So maybe Clippers were favored by 2.5, 3.5, maybe coming into this. And then since the Thunder are coming off a back-to-back, I don't know if the Thunder can shoot much worse than they did last night. You put them back in the same building again, I think they're going to be able to capitalize and shoot better. Not only that, Zubac is out for the Clippers. So Holmgren should feast, even though he's had a downward couple last games, but they should be able to feed him the ball in the middle. And if they would just stop taking 7,000 threes a game, I think, and really put some pressure on the middle of this Clippers defense, I think they'd really get the job done. But we do like the Thunder here. Not too much of a surprise. We have faded them some this season. I mean, we had them last night. I didn't think the third quarter, the Lakers just kind of beat them up a little bit. But I don't foresee the Clippers doing that to them, or them getting that done to them 2 nights in a row. So we will take Thunder plus 1.5 first quarter, plus 3.5 first half, plus 6.5 for the game. Holmgren over 17.5 points, over 1.5 3-pointers made, over 27.5 par, over 2.5 blocks. We also love the Harden over turnovers bet. It is getting really juicy, though, at over 2.5. I'm surprised it didn't get moved to 3.5, but over 2.5 turnovers for Harden. And Clippers under the 120.5 team total. I just think they'll bother James Harden quite a bit. Don't let him get into their offense as much. Thunder kind of will keep the scoring lid, I think, on the Clippers there. I think we see a game probably in the teens, but not Clippers getting over 120. So one more time in this Clippers and Thunder matchup. Thunder plus 1.5 first quarter, plus 3.5 first half, plus 6.5 for the game. Holmgren over 17.5 points, over 1.5 threes, over 27.5 par, and then also over 2.5 blocks. Harden over 2.5 turnovers, and the Clippers under the 120.5 team total. So at the end of every episode that we do, there is a link to the Google Sheet in the comments section. It'll say docs.google.spreadsheet and a bunch of other stuff behind it. This is a link to the ledger of all of our bets. What juice we got those at, how many units, and what book we placed them at. We had a monster day yesterday, over 100 unit up day on the just NBA. Definitely had, let's see, we're about a 3-day winning streak on the NBA after coming off a couple-day loss after we won for like two and a half weeks straight. So getting back turned to the right way here. Chance for on a light schedule, I think, to make some money here. There is some value bets to definitely take advantage of. So make sure you do check out all those bets. And if you're looking for football bets as well, you can see all of those. We had a really good wild card weekend. We expect the same thing for divisional rounds, so on and so forth, coming up. As it gets a little bit more, the NFL playoffs get a little bit easier to handicap, I think, just because we take out all the shit pot teams, so to speak, that can come out and have a dumb week, and get something, that they, or catch a team that's kind of taking them for lightly. Nobody takes anything for lightly in the playoffs. So everybody kind of comes out and hammers down. So definitely some bets to watch there. We'll have divisional round playoff bets starting later today. So if you want to check out those Google Sheets and look up the football side, do that as well. And as always, if you could subscribe and get notifications to our YouTube channel, so when we drop our bets, you get those first. Makes life really simple. Once you subscribe to the channel and turn those notifications on, you'll get a notification to your phone or device to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped a new episode with new bets, give you plenty of time to match them up with your bets, and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.